What's up, beautiful world? This is TNA, Top Notch Audio, and welcome to another episode of r/Entitled Parents. Our first story will be, You Kids Shouldn't Be Doing This. And next will be, My GFs Entitled Mom. Followed by, Entitled Parent Demands for me to give them more candy. And finally, Entitled Mother pops football and soccer ball when it goes over her side of the fence. Her kid becomes a bullying target at school. If this is your first time listening, remember to hit that subscribe button on the bottom right-hand corner. If this is not your first time, welcome back. Enjoy the stories of r/Entitled Parents. And this next r/Entitled Parent story is posted by u/green LED. You kids shouldn't be doing this. So for context, I mountain bike frequently around my town, and I am also part of a team. We had just come back from a pretty long ride, 27 miles, and we decided to go this place in our town which we will call the Berm. It's a place where mountain bikers frequently come, and there are lots of community-made features like jumps and drops. There is also a creek running through this area. This will come into play later. So we are just minding our own business on our bikes, and we aren't disturbing anyone. We were the only ones there. We are there for maybe 10 minutes when EP comes. She is with her husband and kid too. EP is walking with her husband and son, and she also had a dog running around without a leash. This will also be important later. EP, what do you kids think you are doing? Our group leader, which we'll call GL, asked her what is wrong. EP, you are damaging this beautiful and natural area. GL, what do you mean? EP, you know our city has been trying very hard to keep mountain bikers out of this natural area. The city doesn't care. GL, ma'am, EP, don't you dare talk back to me, young man. I'm going to make sure the police department knows about this. GL, let's go. We start to leave. EP, where do you think you're going? I need to take a picture to send to the police. EP then proceeds to take a picture of us with her phone. Older, mature kid in my group. Why do you feel the need to do this? EP, because you children are eroding this area. First of all, there is a creek going through, too, so of course it's going to be eroded. Second of all, her dog is digging up holes in the ground while she speaks. We start to try and leave again. EP, I told you to stay here. EP sees a kid with his mask that slipped down beneath his nose. EP, and you should be wearing a mask. To make matters worse, EP or her family isn't even wearing a mask herself. We leave as fast as possible while she is literally on the verge of calling the police. Luckily, the police didn't end up getting involved, and we didn't hear anything from the EP. We still make jokes about the EP every time we go to the Berm. And this next r/Entitled Parent story is posted by u/Jiggles15, my girlfriend's entitled mom. So this happened about 3 weeks ago when I asked my friend, now girlfriend, out for a date. Cast, me, GF, EM, entitled mom, HD, helpful dad. Backstory, I'm 17 and play hockey. I didn't realize that some people see hockey players as violent meatheads, but that was unfortunately the case. I've known this girl for 2 years and finally decided to make my move. That's where this event comes into play. So I had asked my GF out on a date without any parental permission. Yes, I probably should have asked, but I didn't. And we went to a nice outdoor restaurant. Due to COVID, it was outside, and we sat down. What I didn't realize is that GF had a tracking app that her family uses for safety, which I have no problem with. But I had thought she might have mentioned to her parents that she was going out. After about 20 minutes, a familiar silver car rolled up. Now I had met her parents before, but didn't know them entirely too well. I didn't think it'd be an issue though. Oh boy, was I wrong. Her parents walked out and managed to locate us, and here comes EM, storming up to our table. HD was standing a few yards back watching, probably a little worried for what's to come. What is this? Why didn't you tell us you were leaving? EM said. Now I must mention, she isn't your typical EM. She has black hair and light brown eyes, and, trying not to make this sound weird, but was a very pretty woman. Not that it matters, so I digress. GF responded with, I'm having lunch with my friend. Why do you ask? And how did you know I was here? EM explained she had an app which GF seemed to become a little flustered by. "And who is this here?" EM said, staring daggers into my soul. I stood up and held out my hand to shake hers and introduced myself. "Hi, Miss," GF's last name. "I'm me. I think we've met before." She reluctantly shook my hand and said, "Yes, I know we have," in a snarky way. HD walked over and shook my hand with a smile. I had brought my track bag from the high school hockey team to the restaurant. I bring it everywhere I go, and EM noticed it. "You play hockey? Hockey players are gross." I was a little startled by this, not expecting such a straightforward answer. "Mom, please," GF said with her head in her hands. "This doesn't happen to be a date, does it?" EM asked. "Yes, ma'am, it is," I said. Oh boy, do I regret that. "You're going out with a boy we don't even know well?" she snarled at GF. By now, many diners had begun to take notice of what's happening. "I can't have his violence be near you. Let's go. We're going to have a long talk," EM says to GF. GF was furious and barked back. "Mom, why can't you just leave me alone?" EM seemed startled by this, not having been talked back to like that for her whole parenthood. I noticed HD was red and just wanted to leave. He looked at me and mouthed, "Sorry," to which I nodded. EM was trying to force GF out of the seat when finally HD stepped in. "EM, enough. She's still young and needs to explore what the future will be like." I forget what he said, so I filled this in. EM gasped. She looked like a deer in the headlights. Without control, she was nothing, and she knew that. She was about to mouth off at HD when he sternly said, "Now," and gave GF a hug. EM stood there, frozen. HD shook my hand and apologized, and began walking to their car. EM glared at me and GF as she walked away. In the following weeks, GF and I have been meeting up. So far, I haven't had to run into EM, although I met up with HD just to explain the whole dating situation to clarify. Thanks for reading. I needed to write this down before I forgot what happened. If anything happens with GF and EM in the future, I'll be sure to update this. And this story is posted by u/Karen Mom LOL. Entitled Parent demands for me to give them more candy. This Halloween, no one had come to my house to get candy at all, and I don't really mind, until a kid came to my house finally. Because it'd already been a while since anyone showed up, I decided to give him like a ton of candy. Only a second later, an entitled brat asks him where he got all his candy from, and he tells the brat to go in my direction. I reluctantly give the brat the last of the candy I had and left. I thought that was it, but no. He told his mom that he didn't get enough candy. The mom lectured me about kids needing to get enough candy after a long year of COVID and school, and I understood. But again, I didn't have any more. In the end, I just gave them 2 oranges instead. And this story is posted by u/Ruby Loves Donuts. Entitled Mother pops football and soccer ball when it goes over her side of the fence. Her kid becomes a bullying target at school. This is an old story, but I guess it kind of fits here. When I was 10, I would play football, soccer for you Americans, with my cousins who visited my home during the holidays. We will call them Bruce and Robert for the sake of keeping identity safe. While playing football, me and Bruce tried the overhead tricks a few times, and one of these times led to the ball flying over the goal and into my neighbor's back garden. The woman was an older woman who looked in her late 30s and very chubby. Long brown curly hair and a dress that made her fatness very apparent. Her son actually tried to take the ball when it went over, and me and my cousins were screaming angrily about him being a thief for trying to keep our ball that belongs to us. My 2 aunts, who we will call Sally, Robert's mom, and Allie, Allison, Bruce's mom, came out after hearing the shouts and demanded the ball be given back to us. The EM smirked at us before digging her nails into the ball and bursting it. The loud bang had caused us to get angrier, and me and my cousins actually jumped over the fence together to snatch back the pop ball. The EM slapped me and told me, "If you didn't want it popped, you wouldn't have kicked it over the fence. This is your fault." I cried when the son started laughing at us, and I shoved him into his freezing cold pool before jumping back over. Ever since that day, I have been very apprehensive of interacting with neighbors. I got that ball for my 10th birthday. After the spit with the Karen next door, the kid became the most hated person in school, and this little bully got a taste of what it feels like to be bullied. My cousin spread the story around the school. A week or so after the bullying, the kid was pulled out of school and the mother moved home. The nice old lady who moved in was actually someone I considered a friend while I knew her. I helped her with cleaning her home and she gave me some money, which I saved for a new ball. The rest of the leftover cash I put together to buy a scooter, manual one, not an engine scooter. Karen may have gotten away with destroying my football, but karma comes around. Oh man, those were 4 great stories. To hear the best stories of the week, click on the video in the top left-hand corner. To hear more Reddit stories all related to what you just heard, click on the video in the top right-hand corner. And if you have not already done so, click on the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner. Once again, this is TNA, Top Notch Audio. Thank you for listening and have yourself a great day.